This person checks off multiple boxes, like they're kind, they're good looking, they have a decent job, they want kids, they're nice to my dog. But as far as that carnal attraction, that spark, compatibility, that chemistry, it's just not there.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I've been in relationships where like I'm laying there with someone, but I still feel alone. And I think because I've come out on the other side of that, and I do really feel like I have that like Hallmark movie, like The Notebook love. I want that so bad.
You're batshit insane!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the desert. In today's video, we'll take a look at some women who, in a very enthusiastic way, will try to cope and explain to all of us why they are single, alright? So, these women, guys, they come from a place of a lot of knowledge. They come with many PhDs in dating and all that, yet they cannot secure a man. It's a very interesting dynamic. So, let's get started, gentlemen. Let's take a listen at what they have to say. And we'll comment further, because I have a lot to comment. And by comment, I mean wine, absolutely. So this one says, do most people actually marry the love of their life? And she actually misspelled there and said there. Massive aura drop right here. Off to a bad start already.
You want to know something kind of sad and messed up that happens in your 30s that people don't really talk about? God, my friends are going to think I'm talking about them specifically. I don't have anyone in mind. This is very general. It's that you'll start to see people get married to whoever they're conveniently dating at the time when they feel like they should be getting married, but it's not the love of their life. Like, they're not madly in love with this person.
Yeah, she refers to women. All right, clarification. She's talking about women. Because as a general rule, guys, you give them a decently looking woman that is loyal, and that's it. They're set for life. They don't need anything more. They don't need to think, oh, is Becky down the street better looking? No, they just, oh, you're a nice woman. All right, let's do it. All right. They don't think about better partners, about where the grass is greener. This is something that women do. All right. And especially the ones that are a bit on the silly side, like you are. They are the ones that can never settle for anything. So with that out of the way, let's continue.
This person checks off multiple boxes, like they're kind, they're good looking, they have a decent job, they want kids, they're nice to my dog. But as far as that carnal attraction, that spark, compatibility, that chemistry, it's just not there. They're not turned on mentally, emotionally, physically. They almost love this person like a family member.
And right there, she mentioned probably the main reason why men just have walked out of dating. Because you might invest your money on this woman, your time on this woman, your sanity, any potential children, so many things that you might invest, okay? The stakes are high. And then one day she might wake up and say, you know what? It's just I'm no longer psychologically turned on by your presence, you know? It's just that, you know, mentally, you don't make me mentally horny with your aura. You know, your manifestations, your vibrations don't really mess with me in a physiological way or some bullcrap like that. Okay? She says, well, you might be good and, you know, treat your dog right and your family right, and you could make me happy forever and we could have a stable family that raises good children, but I'm not necessarily turned on by you. You know, horny about you in all the 7 different ways possible. So, translation, it's impossible to have this woman pleased, alright? You're never gonna see this Prince Charming from the Disney movies that it fulfills every wildest dream beyond your imagination, alright, madam? You're not gonna meet that person. That person doesn't exist, neither male nor female. So, she's gonna be single forever.
You're in your 30s, you're at this age where even if you don't feel that, it's not really worth it to break up, because then you feel like you're starting over and you have to date. All of your friends are already like getting married and having kids, and you feel like you'll be like a few years behind. They pop the question, they get married, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, no judgment. These people will probably be married for 50 years. The white picket fence, all of the above. It just won't be that fun. They're friends, they're just not lovers. I mean, I've seen it and like different friends' parents even growing up. It's like sit in separate rooms every night, watch their separate shows, go to bed at different times, might even sleep in totally different rooms. I know my parents did for a time. They don't laugh together. They're not like snort, pissing their pants, laughing. There's nothing wrong with it. I think for me is I know.
Yeah, guys, because you see, that's what life is about. Life is about pissing your pants all the time because everything is so funny and hilarious. Life is about being on top all the time. You know, emotions, roller coaster of positive emotions. Life, okay, in a couple should feel like you are on LSD all the time. If it's not like that, gentlemen, I want you to break up, all right? Oh, he done, but I love my wife. No, guys, no. If you don't feel like you are constantly on at least 5 different sorts of hallucinogenic mushrooms, you're not doing it right, okay, according to this woman's narrative. Holy crap, it's so bad. Let's continue. Have a full minute of cringe to see
what it feels like to be with someone who doesn't really get me. And I've been in relationships where like I'm laying there with someone but I still feel alone. And I think because I've come out on the other side of that, and I do really feel like I have that like Hallmark movie, like The Notebook love. I want that so badly for other people. You can't say anything.
The Notebook, guys. So you see, this woman has been brainwashed by the Disney movies, by the Notebook or whatever. I think I've seen that movie. One of my girlfriends made me see that movie. I cannot even. Oh no, I do remember. Actually, it was a very beautiful movie. All right, but it's a movie. All right. I also like Star Wars. I'm not a Jedi though, right? There's a distinction, madam, between movies and real life. But this is what they expect, guys. They expect life to be all the time perfect. You don't get to be sad, you don't get to have a bad day, you don't get to not understand her 100% of the time, to get her 100% of the time. If she's not pissing her pants of laughter every minute of the day, she'll probably divorce you, alright? And you may think that I'm overplaying it. I really am not. Like, when you boil it down, this is what will happen, alright? She'll feel bad for 2 days, she'll start thinking that she deserves something better, and when that goes on for 2 months, she'll already be cheating on you, most probably. Alright, these women, guys, are the furthest thing away from a good, viable dating option. But now let's continue with the cringe train.
It's not like if people get engaged, you can be like, are you sure? You guys don't really like each other that much. No, you just go with it. You celebrate them, and it's not your life. God, I have people in my life that are probably sitting there like, is she talking about me? Fuck her. I don't have anybody like in mind specifically. It's just, it's a thing that happens. And I do wonder, like, if this video blows up, I wonder if people in the comments will say, yeah, I was married for 50 years and the whole time I was thinking about someone else or wishing that I had pursued a relationship with somebody that I had more natural chemistry with or whatever. Maybe people who feel like they wasted their life with someone. I don't know. I don't want to cause drama, but it's just food for thought.
No, it's not food for thought. It's being delusional. And one thing she says, guys, she uses the usual cope that every woman uses when she can't keep a man. And it is, well, I am single, but I'd rather be single than to feel single in a marriage. You know, they say this like the mic drop moment. Oh, I am single, but there are people in marriages who are single, you know. And yes, there are. Okay, there are bad marriages. Still, why do you put it that way? You know, it's like, guys, it's like the weird kid in class that sucks and is absolutely annoying all the time and nobody wants to be with him, so they don't invite him to a party. And he uses the cope of, oh, sorry if you could hear my phone there, guys. I'm just really wanted by women. They're texting me all the time. Regardless, back to that kid, right? He sucks. Nobody wants to be with him. He's extremely annoying, so he doesn't get invited to the party. And what he says as a cope is, oh, well, the party's not that great either. I don't care. You know, it's like the massive, most low-hanging type of cope. Because they are single and cannot keep a man for the life of it, they'll say, marriages, they're not that great either. People in marriages, with the white fence and the dogs and the picnics and all that, the matching pajamas, it's not that great. They must probably be feeling single alone, yeah? Massive cope, just massive cope. Say it straight, you cannot reach that level, alright? And you use a proportion of marriages that feel bad to, you know, to feel good about the idea that you cannot be part of the ones that work properly. Yeah, so with that out of the way, one more thing to mention, guys, is this whole narrative holds no water at all. It's just a very poor narrative, because she says, I want my significant other, my person, you know, my soul partner. She wants to find that one person who is like the bestest of them all, who is a 10 out of 10 in every aspect. First off, he doesn't exist. Second off, the guy that most approaches your ideal, your fantasy of an ideal guy, how are you gonna know that's him, right? That's the biggest problem with it, guys. She says, well, I meet a lot of people that are decent guys, but how do I know if they're the best? Well, here's the thing, you'll never know. Like, what do you think, that some neon label is going to appear on their head with pointing arrows towards them saying, this is your person? You think you're gonna receive a memo from God saying, oh, you met him? Or that once you meet your soul partner, you know, like mission accomplished is gonna pop out on the sky or something? You never know. That's the thing about life. You never know. You can't really know. What do you expect will happen? This woman criticizes every approach that people take, but never provides an answer herself as to how to pick people, right? You have to risk it. Of course, you have to plan. You have to be wise about it. It's probably one of the most important decisions in life, who you're going to spend the rest of it with. Yes, but at some point you just throw yourself at it, right? You just make good choices up until a certain point, and then you say, okay, that's it, I'm throwing myself at it, and let's see what happens. You don't know. You can't see the future and say, oh, with this person this will happen, with this one this other thing will happen. You don't have a, you know, like some sort of sign above the person's head telling you, oh yes, this is the correct one, congratulations. So just this whole TikTok, guys, is so messed up, and a lot of women are following this path of just complaining about everything all the time, complaining about families, complaining about men, complaining about the next best thing, yet they never make a step in any direction, and they just stay there like little idiots, not knowing what to do, right? And there's a hashtag on this video that is very telling, and the hashtag is millennial, all right? It's very telling because with each new generation, people, and especially women, are more and more lost, all right? A century ago, you didn't have women in their cars thinking about the next best thing, right? Because times were harder. You didn't have much of a choice. There weren't many contraception options. There were no abortions, right? Like everything, life itself, you know, you had to work harder. Jobs were more difficult. You didn't have as many air-conditioned office jobs, right? So just life was harder, and people wanted to adapt. People needed each other. And they didn't sit on their cars dwelling about this kind of bullcrap. It's like if I sit here, guys, and sorry for the long rant, I'm gonna end it soon, but it's as if I sit here, because this point is important, and I think, well, I want to go to the gym, but what if when I walk out, I know a rock falls on my head and kills me? Oh no, what am I gonna do about it? Oh, but what if me staying here overthinking it makes me go out 5 minutes later, and it's then when the rock drops? And I can sit here all day, guys. You can sit in your sofa all day thinking, overthinking all the possible things that could go wrong in life, and end up not doing anything, which is what this woman is doing. She's single, she's met many good people along the way, but she always thinks about the best possibility, next best thing, and all these technicalities, you know, and using coping mechanisms to say how, well, I don't want to rush it because, you know, it's so hard, I want my perfect partner. No, what you're doing it is being weak and pathetic, all right? That's what you are. You are weak, and you don't have the inner strength that it takes to throw yourself at life. So that's gonna be it, guys. I see a lot of women following this path, and it's a path that leads to nothing else but misery, because these women are missing out on great chances that life throws at them. But hey, as men, just stay far away from them, all right? They're massive red flags, and they are impossible to please. But now let's move on to our next video. We are back to physics glasses, guys. This woman is going to explain something with 2 glasses of water, and we're going to talk about avoidant and anxious people. Let's have a listen.
Here is a visual representation of why anxious and avoidant people will have a hard time being in a relationship with each other as long as they stay in their insecure attachment styles. The water represents the emotional needs that they require.
But before she continues, guys, avoidant, alright, in today's terms, if you don't know what it is, avoidant just means I don't want to deal with all your bullshit. That's what avoidant means. And anxious, usually referring to women, means I create problems out of thin air. I play little games and schemes to trick you into getting a reaction out of you. And I give you the cold shoulder, I make a fuss about everything, I throw little tantrums, I'm insecure. That's what anxious means. And avoidant refers to men most of the times, and it means I don't want to deal with all that bullshit. Alright, just to be clear. But now let's continue.
Stay in their insecure attachment styles. The water represents the emotional needs that they require and what they have to give. Avoidants require less because they prioritize their freedom and independence and like to maintain their personal space so they don't require as much intimacy from their partners. Now, anxious individuals crave closeness, connection, and constant reassurance and validation, so they require a lot more emotionally. So they're in a relationship and the anxious person is awaiting the love from the avoidant, but when the avoidant is trying, literally giving all they have, the anxious person is like, this is not enough, where is the rest? And the avoidant says, this literally all I have to give, and the anxious person feels rejected and insecure because they feel like the avoidant is not trying. Then the avoidant feels like they're not good enough. They don't like conflict, and so they retreat to refill and recharge on their own. From the anxious person's perspective, they're ready to pour all their love into the avoidant, but it is entirely too much. It's overflowing. The avoidant can't handle it, okay? They run away because they're overwhelmed, and the anxious chases and tries to keep pouring, and they become clingy because they have all this love to give, and they don't understand why the avoidant person doesn't want it. Both of them will be constantly frustrated. It's a constant push and pull, avoid, and then come back, and then trying to fix it. Neither will be happy. Until they both work on being secure and emotionally balanced, both of them will be unfulfilled and dissatisfied.
Well, I gotta say, guys, if I do appreciate her enthusiasm. Alright, I do. But in other words, avoidant is men and anxious is women. And they've always been that way, right? A century ago, you ask people, and everybody knew about this. Everybody knew that women require more emotional stability because they lack it. That women like to talk more, that men don't like to talk as much, that men are more reserved. Okay, everybody knew that. A 10-year-old kid knew that, right? But nowadays, we have to come up with these terms on, hey guys, listen to me, I took a look at this study proved this. Like, we were so detached from the nature of men and women that we come up with these silly words when, again, essentially, this is just how men and women are. Men don't want to come home after a day of hard work and start yapping all the time. They really don't want to tell you about that mean comment that they've made and got them all in their feelings. All right, this is something that women want to do. If you ask men, all right, the perfect idea is go back home, dinner is ready, you go have sex afterwards, and then you shut up all night about it, and he plays video games. So this is the perfect night for a man, all right? And the perfect night for a woman is, I don't know, like 5 compliments straight out of the gate, and then talk about something for 3 hours where you are very invested in it, and then, I don't know, watch some romantic movies or something like this. I don't know, I'm not a woman. But the point is, just compromise, right? I mean, you can't have... a woman should understand that men don't like talking that much, and it becomes annoying for men to talk as much. And men should understand that when you have a girlfriend, you cannot go back home and play video games for 6 hours. That's it. Compromise is made. You find the middle ground. That's it. It's not about being avoidant. We're not avoiding anything. It's just the way we are. Like, it really pisses me off that we have to come up with these words that imply that there's something inherently wrong with us. No, there's nothing wrong with us. We're just men. We don't like to talk as much. Get it through your heads. We're not broken. No, this is how we are. Right? In the same way that you cannot stop yapping about it, in the same way we just don't want to talk about it. It's natural. So there's that, guys. I just wanted to show you this video because it fascinates me how we really are so detached from literally the most plain and basics of both genders, all right? Like, when I was 10 years old, I could already see that my mother was the one that wanted to talk and more physical contact and details and little things, and my father was the one that wanted to, you know, not be so invested in that and watch football on TV or something like that, you know. Just every family is like this. Most men are like this. Most women are like this. We don't really need a study to prove this. But now, guys, let's move on to one last TikTok, and to save you from all the cringe, and to also save Ampu, who is long time past now, we have a woman that actually makes some sense. Right? So let's have a listen.
If you want to be more feminine, stop being so reactive. Every time you get mad, you don't actually have to be mad. You can just acknowledge that the emotion is present. Every time something bothers you, you don't have to scrunch your face up. Like, you don't have to do that. You can just have a... I'm telling you, don't be so reactive.
But is this real? I have asked many men this question: do women like this exist? I personally have never seen one that is able to control her emotions, not like a monk, just like, I don't know, normal, standard, alright? I want to know, guys, have you ever met a woman, I don't care if it's a family, relative or something, girlfriend, even friend, sister, whatever, that can control her emotions to a decent level? I have never seen that, and I want to know if they exist, alright? But good advice. Otherwise. Now let's check some of the comments. We have one right here, says, no, it's good to feel your emotions. Massive cop there. Okay, guys, next time you get angry, alright, next time you feel anger, I want you to hit a table, throw a dish around, you know, shout, yell. And when the other person tells you, hey, what's going on? Why are you so mad? Just tell them, no, it's not that I'm mad, it's just good to feel your emotions, alright? So I'm validated in being extreme about every silly emotion that I have just because it's good. Very, very good advice. Moving on, there's another comment here. Girl, I'm trying to. Promise, it's so hard. At least you're trying, sis. Another one says, I'm a Gemini though. Valid point. Another one says, but I'm an Aries. Another one says, but I'm a Taurus. We literally have horns. Jeez, guys, every time my eyes roll when I hear these zodiac signs. They're all the same, alright? They're all the same. Oh no, but one is more resentful. I don't give a shit. They all share the basics that every person has. Like, people are reading their zodiac signs and it says, oh, you don't like it when your partner is, you know, noticing other people and putting attention to them. And they're like, oh, that's so me. That's everybody. Like, these zodiac signs, you have 3 zodiac signs right here saying, oh, this is me, this is me. Yeah, this is everybody. Everybody finds it hard to control their emotions. Not because you're a Taurus. And there was this comedian, guys, as we switch on to our Reddit scene, there was this comedian who, you know, it was like a game. The public had to guess which is his zodiac sign. And at one point, he said, I'm a Scorpio. And a woman, of course, from the crowd says, I knew it. And then he said, no, I'm actually not a Scorpio. I'm an Aries. And then another woman said, oh, I knew it. You're just so Aries. And he said, no, I'm lying again. I'm actually not Aries either. Right, so these people with the zodiacs, guys, they don't even know what they're talking about, right? You can lie to each and every one of them. Just give a short description of what you are. And they'll tell you, oh, you're an Aries, and say, yes, I am. And they will say something like, oh, I knew it, just so Aries of you. And then you'll say, well, no, actually, I'm this completely other thing. Zodiac signs, I don't know why they're so famous amongst women. But anyway, guys, let's move on to our article now. And this story is a bit disgusting, to be completely frank with you. My neighbor wanted to start a relationship 5 days ago. Now I can hear her hooking up with another guy above me. So I, 29 male, went on a couple of dates with a woman, 26, that lives above me. On our last date, Saturday, we had a great time and ended up hooking up. That night she asked me to start a relationship with her, but told me she was dating 2 other guys and was going to end it with them. Okay, massive red flag, alright? Massive. Let's see how this guy reacts. I told her I really liked her and could see us being a good fit, but we don't know each other that well still, and she'll get to know each other better. So this guy sees that this woman has 2 orbiters and that she's going to replace them with him, and says, oh, I see that as a good fit. Yeah, I can see a family out of this. I can see me holding her hand with my last dying breath. You're so stupid, my dude. Don't you see that in the same way that she replaces them, she's going to replace you when she finds something better? I know, guys. Am I Nostradamus for seeing this, or is this normal? I also told her I would really like to start a relationship with her, but just want to be careful because we live next to each other and don't want to make one of us feel uncomfortable in our own house. It's a duplex style house with 3 units in it. I then told her she didn't need to stop seeing anyone as that will be immature, but I would rather her not if her goal was to be in a relationship with me. So this guy has this gut feeling, you know, like probably the last 2 testosterone cells in his body telling him, hey, maybe, you know, maybe it's not good if this woman kisses you with the same mouth that she has eaten 2 other bananas from 2 other men. But, you know, I don't know. So he views it as immature to tell her to stop blowing off all the guys while she's trying to have a relationship with him. I don't know where this man is coming from, but again, he's a massive red flag. He has no spine at all. I've seen snails with harder, you know, spines than this man. So I would rather her not. You know, I would rather you not kiss me with the same mouth you blow other guys. I would rather you not, but I'm not so sure. Disgusting, gentlemen. She left my place to walk upstairs at like 8 AM Sunday because I had to head to golf. We saw each other Monday night, and in between that time and Sunday morning when she left, she saw and hung out with one of the guys, which by the way she mentioned will never work out with in a relationship and isn't even sure why she's talking to him, because he's polyamorous, I'm guessing. She decided she wanted to continue seeing him, and she did not want a relationship at the time, but was open to hooking up still. So this woman, guys, tells this man that, yeah, maybe we can have a relationship, but at the same time, the next day after, he's already going to see this other man. And she tells this guy, she notifies this guy that, yeah, I still want to see him. I don't know what's up with all of this, guys. I don't know where this man is pursuing a relationship with this woman. Like, if it were up to me, I think I'd have more chances with the hooker down the street than with this woman, most probably. We talked for a while and ended up hooking up again. Well, now like 3 days later, I'm in my room and turn my TV off only to hear her hooking up with a guy right above me. Shocker, guys. I turned my fan and music on because I don't want to hear that. How do I tell her I can hear her having S3X above me? I don't know, just tell her. I don't know how you can tell her. Telegraph it to her, send her a fax, I don't know. Also, it will probably be dumb to continue hooking up with her, right? I don't know, my guy, what do you think? What an idiot. She's for sure made me feel uncomfortable in my house, which I wanted to avoid. When we first kissed, I told her this could be really a bad idea. Turns out I was right. Wow, you were right. You're so wise. You're so wise in your ways. You turn out to be right. Incredible. Now let's see some of the comments, guys. If you found this story to be nonsensical, wait for the comments. This is just the first good one. Mean Will Smith here says, please just read what you wrote and your answer shall be revealed. No, I stand with Mean Will Smith here. Just read the crap you wrote and you will figure out what's the problem. But then, guys, we start with the bad comments, alright? Some guy named Tight Maybe says, it sounds like you, A, are coming from a place of low confidence and high overthinking, and as a result, B, you play stupid games and want stupid prizes. There isn't even much of an excuse here for you to feel sorry for yourself. It's not like she didn't want to have a relationship with you. It's that you didn't want to with her. I do want to understand your point of view better, since I don't really get it. What is the rationale here to stop seeing her? What do you think she did wrong here? Do you really need to ask, what do you think she did wrong here? As if not everything that she does on a daily basis is wrong in it on itself. Right? And the guy as well. Everything these two people do is wrong all the time, and you don't understand it. Another one here, Social Disco says, she was ready to be locked down, and since you were on the fence about it, she moved on. So this guy trying to put it in a light as if, oh, you have this really traditional woman, you know, ready for you to put a ring on her finger to, you know, impregnate her and have 7 kids. and live your whole lives together. But you missed her. She was ready to be locked down. No, she wasn't. She was hooking up with 2 other guys when you met. She wasn't ready to be locked down, and next day after she goes hooking up with them again. Like, what are these people on drugs, guys? What is going on? She was looking for a hell yes, but instead got a maybe. But don't F anyone else if you still want to be in a relationship with me. As if that, guys, is something, I don't know, extreme nowadays. Like, to say to someone, hey, can you please not bang the whole neighborhood if you want to be in a relationship with me, is taking things too far, you know? Oh, you come off as too pushy. Holy crap. She'd prefer to be in a relationship with you, but given the choice between being a monogamist, friends with benefits, she'd rather be an, I know what ENM means, friends with benefits, which you greenlit anyway. Guys, she was not ready, and she didn't prefer to be in a relationship. She prefers the next best thing, alright? You idiots, you imbeciles. Is it really that hard to figure out? She's not ready to be locked down. She just looks for the next best thing. And she's going to replace this guy as well. I don't know, guys, do you agree with me? Am I going insane over here? What are these men talking about? Bottom line, you're either okay with the situation or you're not. Very, very wise. I agree. How do you tell her? You just do. You don't need to beat around the bush about it if you no longer want to hook up because she's seeing other people. That's totally fine. Asking your neighbor to be more reasonably mindful of her volume during S3X is certainly a reasonable request, but it's just that. Neither of you are in the wrong here. No, both of you are in the wrong for everything that you've done. Unless you feel she's being intentionally loud. Guys, this can absolutely be the case, right? But bottom line, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of bullcrap, guys. Just a really bad Reddit story. I'm gonna cut the video short because it's too long already. But damn, this last story really got me confused and wishing I'd never see it, alright? I don't know why people so lost exist. Like, for the women, guys, I've seen enough women who are 26, 30, and even 40, and they're doing this sort of fatherless behavior where they're hooking up with everybody, just like street workers. I'm used to it. But seeing guys react to that in this way of, oh, I don't know what she did wrong. Oh, why didn't my relationship work out? Why do you even want a relationship in the first place with a woman like that? Holy crap, have some standards. Have some backbone. But anyway, gentlemen, don't be like these simps. And they deserve everything bad that will happen to them, which it will. So leave me your thoughts and opinions down below, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.